up? What up? What up? Greetings, salutations, and all of the affirmative ways to greet you, fellow humans. Impromptu stream here. Big day. Big day in the traitor to the living universe and my studio. Very, very exciting moment. I'll wait a second and let some people join in, but usually the replays of these do a lot more views than the live, so I'm just going to get right into it. Milwaukee, red, all day. All day. I'm all red, Milwaukee. Guys. Very, very special moment for old trader here. I'm going to do a box opening of something. I wasn't planning on buying a lot this year. This isn't the Tempest, and the Tempest is still on that short list. I have, 4 or 5 things, 3 to 4 things left on the short list. This one's big. This one's important. This one is an epic purchase. It's been 6, 7 years, 8 years. I mean, at least 6 or 7 years. Longer. It says 2026 now. Yeah, it's probably like 8 years now. 2018? 2019? I don't remember specifically, but it's been a long time that I have been watching this machine, this instrument, this thing that is special in a lot of ways, that I just never could justify the cost, the all the things. It was just too expensive, and I wanted it for a long time. I could have had it, don't get me wrong. I'm clicking buttons right now. Can you hear those? That's on the Percons. But I definitely I could have had it over and over again, but as I put a post up the other day on the channel, I play the long game. These, as it goes for expensive, amazing equipment, I play the long game, which is waiting and waiting, looking at Reverb, looking at eBay, sitting there. Another year goes by, and if it's something that I want and I really see as the new flavor of the week of the synth or the drum machine or the sampler or whatever, Groovebox or whatever it is comes out. If you've been in this game as long as I have, and had a lot of gear in your studio through the years and make music, and maybe play live and do things back, and it's the long game means something you want and that you're gonna eventually have, that you're gonna wait to find a deal on it. There's a couple newer things that I see coming that way. I'd love to have a TR-1000 someday. I'm a drum machine dude, my history with drum machines goes back longer than my history with synthesizers. Way back into the the 1900s, the 1800s. When Aleister Crowley and Abraham Lincoln and you know, dudes made drum machines, collaborations. Ben Franklin, when he first made that drum machine with a kite and a key and those pads with the original electricity. Like, me and drum machines go back and back and back. I wasn't fortunate to ever have a Lindrum. Roger Lynn is a personal hero to me. And I own many of his devices, and I will have a Tempest, mainly because of Roger. As much as Dave. Roger is a huge reason of NPCs and everything. Like, but going back into the days of like Yamaha drum machines, and if you guys want me to break out and do a history of my legacy with drum machines, the Boss machines were the original big ones that I actually like used on stage and like played music with and did tons of recordings with. We can go there, but not on this stream. But I just want you guys to understand the long game. When I speak about this, it's like looking at that. We all see, machines that we've always look at and we might think is super cool and we want lust after, whatever you want to call it. I don't always think it's gas, because if you wait for 7 years for a used good deal, that's not gas. Gas is like buying that new thing that you're watching a video on. Like, the gear acquisition syndrome thing has been not in the cards for a while. Let me see if anybody's in here before I get too deep, because I am going to open something. I'm going to open a box, and I'm very, very excited about it. Not in the cards for. All right, there's nobody in the chat. That's all right. I'm not even gonna trip. I just wondered if the sound was okay and stuff. I'm having some weird issues with OBS and the audio lately, where I can't get it to go up to into the yellow. I don't know. But if anybody's out there, all right, guys. So this particular purchase, it's very special. Like, very, very special to me. It's a piece from a company that I've admired from afar. I've never owned any of their equipment, and I finally found a deal, and from one of my favorite music shops in town too. A used deal. Drum machines, synthesizers, right? Analog equipment. Say what you will, we can do everything in the box now. VSTs sound amazing. I mean, I don't knock that. I use Pigments all the time. I use the Arturia collection. I love, but there's something about that thing with hardware of twiddling knobs and just the on hands approach that is, it's hard to put a label on it or to make it like it's using a mouse is great, and or whatever interface you have, or a MIDI keyboard with the computer. I've done that for years, and I think it's a very much a amazing approach and like, but there's something for the tactile, hands-on knobs, faders, buttons of analog equipment that just it's hard to replace that feeling, if that makes sense. And this particular thing I'm about to open, Probes, what's up, my friend? Oh, retracted all of your statements. I'm here. Audio is good. Hey, good to see you, sir. Thanks for jumping in, Probes. Loved your latest track, the collaboration on Popcorn Night. Very cool. Loved it. I'm going to open something that I'm very excited about. And I'm staying up very late to do it. I have to be up at 3 in the morning to go work at a laboratory and work on robots and, centrifuges and crazy conveyor lines with sensors and moving things and electronics and variable frequency drives and stuff, as well as run conduit and all kinds of things. Tech cable. I didn't even know about tech cable until I got into the mining world. Tech cable is like a whole different thing. It's like an armored, shielded cable. Never had seen that in my long career as an electrician until I got to the mines. It's very expensive. But anyhow, typos early. No worries, dude. No worries. Cheers. Cheers, brother. Okay. With no further ado, I am going to. I just wanted to preface this with how important drum machines were to me, even before synthesizers. Drum machines were my first introduction into the electronic world. I still have some of the original ones that I owned in the 80s and early 90s. They do not appear in my studio. A lot of stuff is up, and I have a closet full of gear that, stuff that I have not, that I'll never part with. But drum machines have been a giant thing, and this is technically a drum machine. So, are you ready? Are you ready? Cause I mean, this was big. Probes, this was huge for me, dude. This is something. I mean, it's been like 7-8 years. I've been like eyeing this thing, watching videos, just and this company, everything they do, I watch under a microscope. I'm tired. It's been a long day. You like my my Red Wings? My dad got this for me for my birthday. I'm a huge Detroit Red Wings fan. Got me this nice beanie. What did Twin Cities Auction called it in Canada? They call it like, what was it, a baroque or some weird word? I don't know. I never heard that. All right, but without further ado, shall we do this? I have a Korg, nice KPR 77 Yamaha. I've got a couple old Yamahas. I loved the old Boss machines. I have some horrible, regretful feelings towards letting some drum machines go. Ugh, excuse me, man. I've been up since 3 a.m. and it's 9:30 p.m. and I have to be back up at 3:15 in the morning. So, yeah. But I just felt like I wanted to come on and do this. The package showed up, and I was like, I'm not gonna play it tonight. I'm just gonna open it. But this thing was huge. Is huge for me. Analog and digital, yes. I don't have any old school analog machines. I always wished I had a Lindrum or what, that was digital too. I don't know. I have a lot of drum machines, like a huge collection. It's kind of um what does it say? Boss, FRs or Fab? Yes, the DRs. The DRs were the ones that I had. I had the 660, the 770, and the 880 back in the day. And then I think then I'd moved on to what was the next drum machine? I like the evolution there. The DRs were like phenomenal at the time. That was how I learned to program. The first sequencing I ever did. Because no synthesizer or anything. I mean, I had like a Roland Alpha Juno one. Um, some like Yamaha. What were they? PSRs or cheapies. I still have one of those, like an original. Is it the PSR? I had like the one, and then or maybe that's, I don't even know. I have like stacks of like old stacks of multiple old synths from the 80s and 90s, that I should just part with. A lot of them I thought about circuit bending and stuff because I was starting to get into that a few years back and stuff. GR1110 is a classic, yes. And there is one right back here. I I, I should do. I have the 110. I've got a lot of drum machines. I probably got more, almost more than synths. Is drum machines were my first love. For electronic music, those were like I don't know. I've always adored them, if that makes sense. They have a nostalgic just a place in my heart. So this machine that I'm about to do, I finally, after all these years, I played the long game. I waited and 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 then I waited some more. And then I waited longer. And then I almost pulled the trigger at one point. And I waited and I waited. And last week, right after my birthday, tax return season, I wanted a Tempest. I was going to get a Tempest. And a white one appeared. A white Tempest. Literally like the white buffalo or the white rhino, the mysterious. It showed up on Guitar Center. I've never seen or heard of a white Tempest. I looked it up, and literally like I was waiting for I was like, oh my god, if that's available, this is right before my taxes hit. I was like, if that's available on payday this week, I'm gonna pull the trigger. I didn't want to put it on a credit card or something, I was like, wait for this Friday. So I waited like 3-4 days. Looked it. I was like, okay, why didn't I grab that right away? That's way too unique. It was fucking gone. Gone. Somebody out in the wild has a white Dave Smith Instruments Tempest. I kicked myself in the ass for not getting it. But yeah, that's man. I'm not selling any of them probes. No, I don't sell equipment at all anymore, ever. Very, very, very rarely. Back in the day, I sold 20 years ago. I sold a bunch of equipment. I sold my Alpha Juno 1. I sold a bunch of drum machines. I sold a bunch of guitars and basses and pedals, especially. And then when I got back into buying equipment again about 10 years ago, when I started looking at prices of the shit I sold for like peanuts, even the old Boss pedals and stuff, like old ones from the 80s that I had, that are now selling for $400 or $500, that model. It was just like, made me really sad. And I immediately always regretted it. Sold them for various reasons. At times it was just beer money, or to buy some Taco Bell or some shit, back then at the time, which was sad, that I let them go for like dumb, next to nothing money for, reasons that were like I could have figured something else out to. I probably could have sold some CDs or something back then instead of selling my synths and drum machines and some of my old samplers. That really kicks me. It makes me like super bummed when I see how much they're worth, and it's not about the money. It's just about the investment, and then I feel like I could have still used some of that gear. I could like put it to a good use for making songs and music still for getting that stuff, because there's a reason it's worth a lot of that stuff's worth money, is because the stuff being made now is not as on par. And that's what people don't realize, is the flavors of the week, right? Like the new hot thing that Bo Beats is pushing, the new cool thing on Loop Pop, or what is it, whatever cool hip synth influencer, whoever is. That's another thing, is this influencer thing. Loop Pop is forever. I've used Loop Pop as a reference for so much gear. I will never say nothing bad. I like Bo. I'm not gonna say nothing. I remember when he sold out. I remember when he made the plunge into being, we're not gonna say shill. What is it? So it's like being an infomercial person for companies, right? Isn't that what it is? Like remember back in the day on TV, late night TV, it'd be like infomercials, like this new thing from TV Guide, the this thing, the fucking handshaker fucking thing with what's her name from Three's Company. You know what I mean? Showbilly or whatever. No disrespect to Bo. I actually enjoy his personality and have enjoyed many Bo Beats videos, and I think he's actually probably a pretty good guy. Loop Pop, I think, is kind of like, he is what he is. He's the video manual. You can always go look up a part. Noir's been making some videos, one or two videos lately, or multiple on like, and other people have been vocal about these things. Hey, what's up, Heavy Cap? Yeah. What do I think about the Hex Drum? I think the Hex Drum looks dope, actually. I was very excited awaiting it to come out. I have a Perkons, the HD01, and many other drum machines, Electrons, and MPCs, and multiple stuff. Color doesn't matter. It's what you do with it. Yes, probes. Yes. No, I think the Hex Drum looks sick. I'd love to play with one, but I'm not gonna rush out and buy it just because of the plethora of drum machines I already have, and samplers and percussion and stuff. I think it's super super rad. It does seem, I haven't seen anything where it's like, it seems like it's like in a lane of electronic sort of, I don't want to say EDM or IDM or any specific thing, but it seems like it's like, I don't want to say it's limited. I don't know. I'd love to play with one and to see what you could do with it. I haven't seen anything outside like of demos or anything that's been outside of the regular norm of what the lane seems to be of just like hard-hitting electronic music. And I think it's probably capable of more. I'd love to play with one. the price of was it 1700 $1,700. I'm not gonna jump on that just because. But yeah, yes, Pergons is awesome. Yeah, was watching your jam the last time. Yeah, thanks, man. I want to do more with the Percons. And in fact, so I'm gonna open this package, guys. All right, are you ready? So I know that was a long ramble and preface to this thing, but so here we go. This thing, it's a big boy, big boy, big boy. All right, it's from the one. Oh, got a whole cover the address from the one and only Perfect Circuit. Shout out Perfect Circuit. They've always done me good. Good dudes. I'm gonna see the Milwaukee. Always keep a Milwaukee blade. All right, guys. I have not opened this yet. This is woo. Shout out Perfect Circuit. Oh, it's backwards on there, huh? I don't know. Yeah, I have some sticker. I think I have a sticker up there on the end of the world machine. Yeah, guys, this is a big moment for old Trader. Big moment for old Trader here. You guys know how many? You don't know how many years I've been like really lusting after this thing. Ooh, and it's in the full-on case. Nice packaging. They put nice padding all across it. Shout out Perfect Circuit. Big shout out to Perfect Circuit. Like, they've never, every time it's like a fast delivery. Cool. I bought new things through the years, new products, and then used stuff. And they're used. If you go on the used Perfect Circuit site, it's like one of the best things. And to find this thing for over $1,000 off, it was literally half price. Was the big. I couldn't. I just had to. What was that? Sorry if you guys heard that. I got some alert on the computer. All right. So pull it out. Here we go. Pull out the actual box. I like that I really appreciate that they packaged the original box within a full box from them. Oh, it's heavy as hell. This thing is heavy. Heavy Judy. Holy shit. You know what? I don't even care that there's no candy like Sweetwater. Okay. You guys ready to see this? Oh, you might have seen it. You might have seen it. Oh, they taped it up all nice. Oh my gosh. This thing is way heavier than I could have possibly imagined. It feels like it's almost like I'm going to say 30 to 40 pounds. It feels like. I'm not kidding. Let me read the comments real quick. Anyone who doesn't return the review product, I don't give their opinions anyway. Anyone who doesn't return the review product, okay. Yeah, Perkins is up. Oh yeah, sorry I missed that earlier. I'm driving into my Moog. You're diving into your Moog Sound Studio whenever I have some spare time. Really nice sense. Hell yeah. The Moog Sound Studio, you can see I have. It's not double, but I do have 2 DFAMs, and then Mother, Subharmonicon, Labyrinth, and the Spectravox. So I originally had. I never bought it as a sound studio. I got mine original ones before they made the sound studio. So I got Mother and DFAM first with my grandmother, like long before they released them as a sound studio. I've had those for years, and then Subharmonicon came out, which is my all-time favorite. Absolutely love Subharmonicon. It's probably one of my favorite synths in my whole studio, and huge fan of the yes, drum roll. Sorry. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna hold it up so you can see what it is. The box. I'm not kidding that this thing is fucking heavy. Here we go. My first ever Soma. The Pulsar 23333. Yes. Yes. The fucking Pulsar 23. It's backwards on the camera, I think. But holy shit. I can't even like describe to you how heavy this box is. I don't think there's a single synthesizer or drum machine I have in the studio other than like full keyboards like the Muse or the Quantum or something. But for like a small box, this thing is heavy as a son of a bitch. What is in here? Feels like, I'm not kidding, like the weight on it is insane. And they do free shipping. Shout out Perfect Circuit, free shipping. Oh. Heavy Cap just got a Soma Cosmos. Nice. I was just watching a video on that earlier tonight. So I've been listening out after this for a long time, guys. This is a big deal for Trader to get this thing. Ooh. They have a nice, look at this. It's got a beautiful Soma case that comes with it. How pretty. Oh, this is sick. It comes literally, I can't believe I got this for like $1,100, guys. Look at this nice case. With the Pulsar 23. This is dope. God, it is so heavy. I really cannot describe to you how heavy this is. Like, I mean, one hand is like, I mean, I can lift it with one hand, but it's like, it's weighty. Like, it's way more, like, hefty and heavier than the HDO1 or the GR Mega or, like, uh-oh, camera needs to come up. Sorry. Let me try and fix that. Alright, see if that helped. Alright, good enough, I guess, for now. Yeah, let's take it up a little more. Guys, this thing, no, when I'm talking about like being like hefty. Like hefty. Oh, whoops, my bad. Alright. So super sick red and black, like nice sturdy case that comes with it. There's a strap to hold it. This is cool. I mean, this case feels really nice. I didn't know that even came with it. There wasn't a lot of information on it. Like, okay, gonna open this bad boy up. Ooh! Oh my! Holy crap! That's a lot of cables. Look at this stack of cables that comes with it. Power supply. So cables, power supply, and mint green. God, I cannot believe how weighty this thing is. Has to be the heaviest instrument I have anywhere. Like, it's literally, it's probably about as weighty as my Moog Muse. I'm not joking. Like, it's probably about, like, maybe even more. I mean, this thing feels like a fucking tank. I've never felt an instrument feel this heavy, ever. But the mint green Pulsar 23, guys, there it is. There it is. You guys don't know how long I've lusted and wanted this goddamn machine. How many videos I've watched late at night and just like I mean, just lusted years and years and years and years of wanting this bad boy. Oh man, I I'm just completely blown away by like how much it weighs. Like the amount of electrons. I mean the case alone can't, it can't just be the metal. It's got to be like inside of it. Like I mean I'm not, it's no joke. This thing is like incredibly heavy and serious. Like I can't think of anything in my studio, my Hydrasynth desktop, um, anything, my ASRX Pro from the 90s, nothing. I mean, it's like double the triple the weight. It's nuts. Wild. But how beautiful is that, guys? How beautiful. Mint green. I loved that. I love the green. It kind of reminds me almost of the Brule Cagier um, test equipment. And it looks like, you know what? This doesn't look like the screw version, and it didn't say that in the title. So they came out, they had the original ones with the posts. I don't know for 100% certain, but I've seen some screw version videos. They came out with a cheaper version after it had been out a few years. And then I think that was all that was available. That was a screw version that was cheaper. Looking at these posts, these look like the original video. If you look really closely, I don't know if I can, like, you can see all of the different divots or whatever you want to call it. This looks like me, like an original version. And I sent an email asking them because it didn't say. So on Perfect Circuit, like if you go on, they have a lot of different Pulsar 23s. They would say like screw version. Screw version was cheaper, like because they changed it so that they just did screws instead of these posts. And the posts you can buy. You can buy the posts from Perfect Circuit for 50, $60 or $100 or whatever it is, or not Perfect Circuit, from Soma, and refit yours. You have to take the cover off and then take all the posts off and then refit them to get the originals because those are more expensive. But this looks, these are not just screws. These are like posts. Interesting. I was wondering about that because there's the different versions. There's newer versions too now. They have a new, was it the 80s or 90s? I forget what they have, another version. But this looks like, I was really curious about that. They didn't answer me. I sent it today asking them if it was, because in the title of all their other ones it always said screw version. But on this one, it just said Pulsar 23 modular drum machine, mint green, used, $1,100, which was, and I was like, okay, I didn't care. A lot of people say the only difference is like with the screw, they use actual like screws. And apparently, like, it's harder to get the alligator clips on those. Like, it's just more of a pain in the ass to get it, is what all the reviews I've heard. But holy shit, this thing is in immaculate condition. Not a scrape on it. Not a single, like, even looking at it in the glare of the light, like, I don't see a fingerprint, a glare, or anything. Like, and look at all individual outs. It's only got MIDI in, but it's got all six. It's got one out headphones, one out, and then the headphones, and then 6 individual outs. Which I'm gonna have to look what that means because there's only 4 voices. You've got the the bass drum, the bass machine, the snare drum, and the hi hat, and these beautiful like things, and you can literally like touch a finger to another finger and like um, do connections and feel them with your flesh to find out if that's a sound before you hook up the cable. This is a fucking dream machine, you guys. This is a literal fucking dream machine for me, like huge. And man, I cannot express how sturdy and hardcore and heavy this thing is. Like, I mean, the weight of it is intense. Intense. I'm sorry, guys. I got excited. Let me jump back in the comments. Let's see. Drum on a loop till you open it. I'm sorry, Froze. It took so long. Sick. Fuck yeah. I just got a Soma Cosmos. Yes. You're not helping my gas. Sorry, dude. Sorry. I mean, you have no idea how many years I waited to get the deal. I mean, I told you how many years, but I mean, you don't, play the long game, man. Like, don't rush into anything. Wait. It's always going to be there. I mean, unless you're like in your 70s or 80s, you're at the end of it all. Just be patient, wait, and fuck yes, boys. Fuck yes. You do not know how hyped I am, and trust me, there'll be some big time upcoming streams with this. Big time. This with the Percons and the Voltage Lab 2 is going to be some major traction coming on that. I'm so stoked. I love this case. This case is gnarly. I could take this on tour. I could throw this on an airplane. It's like super durable, like oh. And it's like all embroidered and stuff. I don't know if the case like comes with them normally or what. Super fucking stoked, boys. Super fucking hyped. Like this is one of the biggest bucket list things I've had on my list for my studio for some time. And I wanted to get a good deal. I was hoping to get down to like $1,300, so to get it for $1,100, I just randomly saw it. I was just looking through the Perfect Circuit used site, and I was like, "There's no way." I was like, "It's got to be the screw version." So I thought, but I'm fucking the post. That is not the screw version. That is not what I've seen in the pictures and videos. That is not the screw version. Those are the actual original posts, which was the $20 something $100 one, the 24 whatever 2200. Bless me, I'm fucking hyped and excited and feel blessed that my studio can have a fucking Pulsar 23. This is a dream come true, guys. It's a fucking dream come true. I'm so excited. I wasn't planning on getting a lot of gear this year, especially like a big purchase, but the Quantum was a big one of the last purchase. Shout out Perfect Circuit. Huge fan of Perfect Circuit. Probably one of the best music stores to ever exist. The fact that they get all of the obscure, rare, weird, everything. No one does that. Sweetwater doesn't do that. Zounds doesn't do that. All of our shops here in the States. Perfect Circuit does it. Man, this case is absolutely phenomenal. I can't believe it came in such a beautiful, like, hard. It's like a suitcase. It's like literally, I could like take it on tour. I'm fucking hyped, guys. Fucking hyped. Let's see. Is it full of lead ballast? It feels like it, dude. It feels like it. I'm not kidding. The weight, I cannot describe to you how fucking heavy it is. Looks beautiful. Congrats. Thank you. Thank you, Heavy Cap. I appreciate you guys. Look forward to hearing you demo it. Fuck yeah. It's on this weekend, probes. It's gonna be. I've been spending a lot of time with the Percons, the HDO one lately, but that's gonna kind of be shifted aside. Obviously, as I'm gonna delve balls deep. We make for the refuge of balls deep. That's what Gimli said in Lord of the Rings, right? Oh wait, that was Helm's Deep, but you know what I mean. Yeah, dude. Fuck, I'm so excited. I'm so hyped. Thanks for hanging out, and I'm sorry it was like a long build up to it, but god damn, I cannot tell you how heavy it is. It's gnarly. Like I could pick up probably the third wave 8M base station 2, my Hydrosense desktop, the Mini Freak, and probably like the Octatrack, and it still wouldn't weigh that much. I'm not joking. It's gnarly. Like one hand I have to pick it. I've never ever felt an instrument weigh that much, and especially in that size. It's wild. Wow. I mean, inside there must be a lot going on inside of there to make that weight. 'Cause I know the case is very sturdy it's fully metal like a tank, but there's no way it weighs like that. I mean, Octatrack's all metal, and here, pick up the Octatrack. I mean, the Octatrack has some nice weight. It feels about like almost like if you've ever held an Electron Octatrack, which is all metal, which is one of my all-time favorite machines ever. I'm gonna say it's about 4, maybe 5 or 6 times the weight of an Octatrack. Which the Octatrack is no slouch. I mean, it's for a little device like this, it's weighty and tough and metal. Like Electron did not skimp at all on the Electron Octatrack. But I mean, just holding them side by side. Oof. I'm gonna say it's like maybe 10 Octatracks, holding them on each side. Like it's literally like it's weighty. I could lift this like weights. I'm gonna weigh it. It's got to be at least close to like 80 pounds or something. I'm not joking. Isn't that bizarre? I had no idea that a drum machine could weigh that much. That's wild. Yeah, it's probably almost 10 Octatracks. I'm gonna say after holding it hand to hand. What a trip, huh? Had no idea. I mean, I knew it was a quality instrument, but holy shit! I mean, that it weighs as much as probably the Waldorf Quantum or the Muse. That's what a trip. Anyway, I'll stop harping on the weight. It's just like I was not expecting it to be that girthy and serious. Did not have those kind of balls, my friends. But yeah, am I gonna be? Wait, let's see. Nice machine, looks beautiful. Thank you. Looks forward to. Yeah, are you going to be using it more as a synth or for percussion? I'm thinking both. I'm just gonna experiment. I've never used it. I've never used any Soma equipment. I'll see where it leads, but I see, like, what I do a lot with a lot of my equipment is I sample it into my samplers, whether it be the MPC, the Digitact, now the Toneverk. the GR Mega, or some of my older samplers. I always use a lot of gear. I'll make stuff on it and use it, and then but I sample it and then chop that stuff up for other uses. But I see this as a permanent fixture in the studio, and that's why I took so long and waited on anything that comes in this studio at this point has to bring something to the table that is not there, because I have a lot of fucking capabilities for uh sound design and different things, like something, if something that's going to take any real estate at this point, like that's going to stay on the desks, and like in front of me there's like three big desks of a bunch of equipment that's not on the camera, and then you can see in the background, and then of course the end of the world machine over here. No, the camera didn't move, but of my old vintage test equipment and stuff, like to earn a place in this setup now, it has to bring something different and something special and interesting. And the Pulsar 23 has met all of those in spades on paper. On paper and on video, and from like this is the first I've never seen one in person. I've never so yeah, I think synthesizer, I think drone machine, I think weird percussion, I think endless sample fodder of experimentation. It's gonna be something that's I think it's gonna earn its time, space, and I mean, to get it for that cheap after all this time, and it's funny because it's so weird that it was so cheap, because all the other ones are still like 14, 15, 1600 bucks, even used, everywhere across the board, eBay. And I was like, why is this one, like, I saw it and I was like, well, fuck, I'm just gonna pull the trigger. And because it said it didn't say anything about being a screw version. It was like the original, because the originals were way more, and then they released the screw versions to try and make a cheaper version to make it more affordable and readily available to more people. This is not the screw version from what I saw. That is not. I'm gonna do some deeper research, because I thought all the mint green ones were screw versions, and I was gonna be totally okay with that. But looking at those posts, looking at those posts on it, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not gonna go, just claiming, oh, I got the $2,400 version for $1,100 and stuff. But we'll see. I mean, maybe I lucked out there, and that's even it just trips me out. I sent him an email today about it, because I was like, you say in all of your other descriptions, it says screw. It says Pulsar 23 screw version, and they're always cheaper. Like, I don't know. But even those used on the site were like 14, 1,500 bucks. So I was like, why is this one so cheap? Like, why do they have one for $1,100, but then they have like 10 others that are all like $1,400 to $1,600? And then the new ones for, higher than that. I don't know. I don't know if I just straight up lucked out or what the deal is. Maybe I'll plug in. It doesn't even work. I can't do it tonight because, holy shit, it's 10 o'clock. Guys, it's 10 o'clock at night. I got to be up at 3:15 in the morning. I make lunches for my kids, because I don't let them eat that crappy school lunch. I make them nice, beautiful sandwiches with healthy snacks and fruits and vegetables and good stuff. And I make my lunch, and then I go drive an hour to gold mine and work as on robots and automation and electrical work is my bread and butter that supports all this. None of this that I do is paid for anybody but my fucking hard ass fucking work. Um, so I have to get up and do that. But this weekend I'll definitely dive deep into the Soma. I think maybe I'll just start a live stream like right from the first hour just to see. Maybe I'll just document the journey, like, Pulsar 23, day one. I think they can hear us breathing. They can smell our fear. It knows. It knows that I'm intimidated. And I am. I'm intimidated by this thing. No joke. Well, yeah. Waiting is worth it. Hell yeah. I will enjoy it. Thanks, Probes. Thanks, man. This is a huge thing for me, dude. This is my big purchase of the year with my tax returns. Like I said, I pay for everything out of pocket. You know, it's a big thing for me to make a purchase like this. You know, you can look here, like, people are like, oh, you must be rich and stuff. You're like, look at all the equipment you have and stuff. It's like, no, not at all. Like, I work my fucking ass off to make this happen, and these are just things that I can get time to time. Last year, I did like get a little crazy on, I added things like the Muse, and I always wanted an analog polysynth. I finally got it. I waited years, and I did research for a year or two after the Muse came out, and but these are not small efforts for me. You know what I mean? These are like, things I work my fucking ass off for every day, and just so I can, because I see this as like forever. Like, I don't buy equipment to just like sell it. Like, oh, I'm just gonna try this thing, and then if it clicks, it's cool. But if not, I'll sell it and get some other little piece. When I buy equipment, like, I research the fucking shit out of it, you guys. Like, watch every video I can, like, read the fucking manual multiple times, like, go over it and decide, like, if it's gonna come in here now at this point with all the gear I have, and because I'm set with stuff that what I consider forever pieces. So, like, deep into my retirement years from now, like, I'll still be making patches on the fucking third wave. I'll still be like crafting sounds and experimenting with the Muse or the Quantum. These pieces I've chosen were by like serious design. Having the Percons, like, I'm not. I went through years like a while back of buying different cheaper groove boxes and things that weren't thought out. They were fun at the time, but then I realized they weren't like deep enough to keep my interest forever. I see like eventually being able to retire from work and then spend my free time, besides out in the garage and doing my electronics and my jukeboxes and my pinball machines and all the other different hobbies I have, like with music, like anything in here, like it has to be a permanent thing I'm not gonna exhaust its potential. Like, I can go years with this device right here. An Electron Octatrack, even though it's 12 years old, I can still forever find different interesting ways to use it, as I can even with the Digitact one. Electron stuff is unique in that way. But like synthesizers, like the GR Mega here, this thing, I expect this thing to keep me entertained and find new things and just different ways to use it for years. That's why I did the research on it, and like I don't just like, oh, there's a new, and I'm not gonna like knock anything that comes out, but like just for example, like the Korg multi poly, right? I think that's a badass scent. I think it's amazing. I think that's actually a super badass scent. But it's not for me. For what maybe that was a bad example because that one's actually like super deep. Let's take something a little less deep. You know, I don't know. I don't want to get into it because I don't want to upset anybody that owns anything or whatever. Because it's all so individual, right? All the gear that we choose and that we use to create our tools that we use are so individual and personal to ourselves that, like, I mean, what somebody can, a banger somebody can make with a Volca sample or you know, a pocket operator or like this thing. Oh, I think my daughter took it. The KO2 from Teenage Engineering. I mean, amazing device. It's not something that is going to be a permanent fixture. Like I love to use it. I like to use it just like for a sketch pad and ideas. But it's super dope. I mean, the things you can do with a lot of cheaper devices, you don't have to spend all your money and time. I mean, like, you don't have to get like expensive gear. Doesn't make you better at anything. You know, it's any piece of gear you have and how you learn it. From the cheapest little thing you have. Like I could hold up like many things. I just took apart. I just took this, unhooked this because everybody keeps telling me to get a Digitone 2, right? And I kind of do want one. Let me unplug this. I do want one. This thing's dusty. Need the brush. Everybody keeps saying like get a Digitone 2. You've been so into Electron for years now, and like we're such a like because I was a big guy on the Digitone 1 and the Digitact 1, and I still have those. I never upgraded, and you know why I didn't upgrade is because there's nothing fucking wrong or doesn't work, and isn't still a lot of potential to be had on the Digitone 1. Yes, it's only 4 tracks. But how you can design this 4 operator FM synth, I have not tapped all the potential out of this thing. Um, Same with the Digitact. I saw, and I really appreciate. I've seen Jeremy from Red Means Recording lately doing Digitact 1 videos, uh, and highly respect that because I feel like that whole new flavor of the week thing that I was talking about earlier, guys. It's not about the flavor of the week. As Noir's been saying, and people are saying, sometimes gear from 20 years ago, 10 years ago, MK1s, like my Quantum MK1, there's, you don't have to have the newest cool thing. You can get older things with good deals. And if you played the long game and are patient, you can get things like my new Pulsar 23 that I waited 7-8 years to get, and I got it for fucking $1,200-$1,400 off, at least $1,000 off, and I know exactly what I want to utilize that for with the Voltage Lab 2 and just do drones and weird percussion and have that as a supplement, as a sound design device. Just think about what you want to do. But I guarantee as some of my good people out there like Noir has been saying, the gear you probably already have is fine. Like you can probably make absolute bangers, master the thing you have, don't lust over the next big thing. But it's okay to like want something and look at something and admire it greatly. But wait, don't just like put yourself in debt or sell your other gear. Don't fucking sell your gear. Is number one. Unless you're like destitute and you're hurting in life, like things are bad and you need money, don't sell your gear. Because just put it up. Unless you need the money, just put it put it up in a closet or something and wait a year or two and then pull that fucking thing back out when you're on another track on another project, and you might find, and I guarantee you will find, say you have a TR6S or 8S or something, or like a whatever it is, some piece of gear that you feels like, oh, it's been replaced, it's been outdated, a Digitact 1. You just, if you're not using it and it's just collecting dust for a while, sure, put it up. If it's taking up real estate, put it away. Unless you need the money. Because I fucking guarantee you, after doing this for decades and having gear and playing in bands and doing multiple different projects with electronic equipment, I guarantee you that 5-10 years down the road, you're going to think about that one piece of gear and you're going to be like, you know what? I could probably do something interesting on a track right now with that device if I had it. Kind of miss the simplicity of it. I miss the limitations of it. Because the new product, the new big hot thing that does everything, it's got all the things you need. It's got the disc screaming. It's got the, and the NPCs, the new NPCs are the biggest culprits of all of trying to do everything. It's a fucking workstation. It's a Dawn a box. If that's what you want to do, then just work in the box. We have computers here already that can do everything. Like, if you want to work with hardware, accept that the best part of working with hardware is dealing with the limitations. That's the beauty of it. That's the greatness that comes with working with hardware, is not being able to do it all, not being the all-in-one solution. You have to work around things and find things, and then from that, from finding these little workarounds and like learning how to use things that don't do what you want to do, you end up coming up with like really original cool things that are like inspirational and bring like a level of creation you wouldn't have got from playing all the things. So I don't know, I'm not here to preach. I'm not going to tell anybody what to buy or what to do. You want to sell all your gear, go for it. You want to purge your stuff, go for it. But trust me, honestly, telling you, after decades of buying equipment and gear and at some point selling it and stuff, it's not the way to go. You keep that gear and fucking master it. Find every little thing and way you can use it, and then how you can all of a sudden repurpose it to run other things through it and use it in different ways. Like a piece of gear like the fucking Digitone, exact example, MK1, you can run things through this and use the effects and then reroute it. You ever ran a Digitone out and then back into itself? And then use the FM? There's things you can do with gear that is old and limited that you never thought about. And then if you sold it, it's too late to even try it. So don't sell it unless you fucking need the money. And Daydream Sound just did, if you're not familiar with the Daydream Sound, fantastic YouTube channel. Dude's been around. He is OG as fuck. He is the sample guru. Been on YouTube since like 2008 or something, since the beginning pretty much. And he was the only dude back in the day doing stuff on OG samplers, like in Sonic samplers and stuff. Super awesome guy. Very opinionated. I don't always agree with him on everything, but mad respect to the Ultimate T. I buy his music is super great. Love it if you love electronic sample, all sample based. He makes all his music with old samplers, but he's an excellent teacher, and he always just shares his opinions and advice. And he made an incredible video, a short or something recently about not selling your gear. And this is something I've been harping on for a while. About like, if you don't need the money, just put it up, right? Just put it away. If you're not using it right then, because like when it comes to like synths, samplers, drum machines, flavors, we're talking about flavors, like you might not, spices up there, you might not always want to cook with the oregano or the paprika or the whatever, but there might come a time on this next meal you make down the road that you might want to use that, that spice. And selling it off and not learning how to cook with it properly, how to use it, the minimal parts to use it, or what to mix it with and stuff. I see a lot of analogies with cooking and being a chef to music production. I don't know. Maybe that's weird to some people, but I really do see that, because like different things, they give you different flavors and different textures and your palate, but your palate's in your ears instead of your mouth in this case. That's just, it just makes a lot of sense to me to use that analogy. Maybe it's stupid and cliche, I don't know. Sorry guys, I'm way behind in the chat. Synth Fun, what up? Thanks for joining, guys. I really do need to get to bed. Oh my god, it's 10:30. I'm gonna get no sleep tonight. You'll need some reinforced shelving. For the weight, yes. I can use it for a workout, dude. I'm telling you, I cannot express how heavy this thing is. It's wild. I have nothing I can compare it to in the studio. The Barp 2600 back here, you can't see it, but that doesn't weigh as much. I'm like 99% sure. And that thing's pretty fucking big. Yeah, it's wild. Cool deal. Thank you, Synthfun. Yeah. Same research and cogitation. Yes. You need to learn the instrument, whatever it is. 1000% Probes knows. We need a shirt like that, like what was it? Bo Nose? Is that what it was? Like the Bo Jackson shirts from like way back. I'm that old. I think that was right around the time the Just Do It Nike thing. It was like Bo Knows. It was like shirts. I think they were Nike shirts. But Probes knows. Let's see. It's the tunes that count in the end. 1000%, sir. Yeah. It depends on your approach. Some people, it's not. I'm okay and respect people who are more about the journey than necessarily the fruition of the journey. For me, I agree with you, but I try not to exclude people that have a different take, and it's just some people just like to experiment, just sit there and make noise, and that's okay. But I agree with you. Let's see, totally agree. Hey, what's up, Space Capsule? Good to see you, man. Let's see. I rarely sell anything. Just stow it, and pull it out later. This is the way, my friend. This is the way. Unless you're destitute, I'm not gonna talk about people, or if you're in a position where you have to sell your shit to eat, pay your bills. Totally different story. I understand. You could sell your fucking clothes and your car and your everything. Like, I mean, if it's talking about feeding your family and stuff, different story. But if you don't need the money, it's not about the money or survival, then just fucking put it away. Wait, pull it out a year later. Use it on a track. Put it away again. Pull it out. If after 5-10 years you're like, I actually don't like this thing, I don't like the sound of it, I don't enjoy working with it, sure. I'm not saying never sell anything, but in general, I think even some of that shit that I've had that I didn't like for years, I pulled out the Yamaha DJX2 a little while ago, last month, because I was doing this track, and I just pulled it out just to fuck with it, and I was like, God, this thing is so cheesy and stuff. And I found this one crazy thing on it with this effect and this loop on it, and I sampled it and then chopped that up in Studio One, and then put that into the Tonewerk. But this was actually, it's a few months ago. It's right before the Tonewerk got the update, and I was like, oh shit, I got this crazy like bass sound and drum hit out of it. This kick drum sound that ended up like being clutch in a track, and like I could have sold the DJX2 is one of the cheesiest piece of equipment I probably own in my studio. But it's glorious too. Like, you never know, man. You never know. Let's see. If you're running an ancient hardware setup that also imposes limitations, yes. I mean, older equipment, just the workflows on them and the UIs and stuff generally it's an inherent thing that it's going to be limiting, right, compared to a lot of the new gear and like capabilities of, especially with like sequencing and a lot of the effects and things you get on newer equipment. But utilizing it, I mean, you can repurpose like a lot of things that you wouldn't think, like ways of using your gear, older gear that you've thought is like, not in fashion or obsolete or whatever, like it feels like it's just old hat. The sounds on it aren't that good. I've done some things like on even some of my tracks that I've made in the last couple of years on my videos on the channel. If you go into my videos on the channel, I have some old shitty ass synthesizers that I used on purpose, not because those were the only things I had, like running through some effects and pedals, and then through some like things like tape machines, and then like play that through a fucking bass practice amp with a mic on it and do stuff. There's some weird, like if you hear the textures in some of the songs I do, I like to get experimental. Sometimes, not always. Sometimes I just do shit in the box. But repurposing it and finding like experimentation, your studio should be a laboratory. It shouldn't just be like the same formula of I'm going to play the keys, I'm going to program a beat, I'm going to do whatever. Like I feel it should be like an evolving level of experimentation of it's a sound laboratory. um I mean, depending on what you're doing, if you're just like doing a project where you're just like an electronic band and this is what you're doing, but I think you should always experiment. That's just my fucking weird approach. But who the hell am I? I'm not anybody give anybody advice, um, or be like, telling you what you should do. But repurposing your music gear for things that you wouldn't have used it for when you bought it, and what you didn't think, something you put away, some synth or drum machine or something, you find some weird use. Like, I like to buy these like cheap little practice amps from thrift stores and pawn shops and stuff. I've got a collection of them, and then I run shit into those, and you run stereo into two different ones, and you get two different tones and then EQ them different, and then mic those in the bathroom, and then like bring it back, and then like run that into your like a cassette, or like an 8 track, or like a reel to reel, or like run it through like, it's just try and like don't stick to the same formulas and the same shit. Like, just try shit. Try everything. Like, run your gear all different ways. Run your gear into itself, and then into other things, and like, like, just experiment is like the best way to do things. But if you're just a songwriter and you're getting stuff out of your head and composing, I get that. Like, I'm talking about like, just using your studio to do more different, interesting things. I mean, I get some people are just like have ideas and they want to like do, you know, uh, write songs and do like different like ideas for chords and structures of songs and stuff. I mean, we're all different artistically, and just create. But I just don't want anybody ever to like. I've seen people that were like really good creative songwriters, and I see them like getting these ruts and stuck, and then they think they need a new piece of gear in order to give them some inspiration. And sometimes that's a thing. Sometimes you do like you do have like a new piece of gear will bring inspiration and some kind of like muse that triggers something. But not looking back at the gear you already have and thinking about how to use it differently than you did in the past. That drum machine you bought 10 years ago, that sampler, that old synth that's collected dust or has been on a shelf, pull it out and run it into something different. Put it into your guitar amp, you know, run it into your interface, and then send it back out into like through like anything that you have that has a fucking input, through some guitar pedals or something, and just get something different. I just try and encourage like, you know, or I think studios should be a sound laboratory where you're constantly experimenting. I don't think it should just be like, okay, I have my drum machine, I play a beat, I play my keyboard, and then I play my guitar over it and sing. And that's fine if you have a lot of song ideas. I'm not saying like somebody just using the instruments for what they're supposed to do, but I'm talking about gear you've had for years and reasons to not fucking sell it. Reasons to keep it, in a closet or whatever, and pull it out for inspiration later. Like, you're like, I want to do something new on this track. I want this track to not just be the same shit. I want some new, something new sound, mojo, juice, inspirato, whatever. You just, and sometimes just like experimenting, all of a sudden you'll discover something running into pedals and amps and different things and using your keyboards in different forms and factions, you'll find something that just like, even if it's not something you use on a track to release, it can just bring something that like triggers um, a happy creative zone that puts you in a level where all of a sudden you are like become more creative in writing again and writing more songs, you know. Sometimes it's things that you don't even use, just are inspirational. So anyhow, I'll shut the fuck up about it. Nothing like a good late night synth talk. Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Appreciate you, Space Capsule. I do got to get to bed, guys. I got to get up so early. It's all about learning what you have. Yep, I'm still finding new ways to use my older gear. That's what's all about. There is an order of priorities, especially if you have a family to take care of. Yes, 1000%. Yes, I highly understand that. Even if a piece of kit is a one-trick pony, sometimes that trick is all you need. Yes! Is that Corduroy Institute? What up, man? Fucking shout out Corduroy. How you doing, dude? If you guys don't know, Corduroy Institute's amazing musician, good dude. Appreciate you being here. Haven't seen you around for a while. Haven't jumped in Daydreams for a while. Showing things for a while only to pull it out later helps ease gas pains. Yes, that's another big part of it. Is like that whole the gear lust thing and the new thing coming out in gas, like pulling old gear out, watching a video, watching some new technique, reading the manual on something, finding something that your gear does, because the gear we have generally does way more than we've used it for, in a lot of cases. So I think it's like, I think it's very important to not write something off. Like, usually we only tap into a small percentage of potential of what any piece of gear, even some seemingly basic things, you really don't know what all the potential of a piece of equipment does, sometimes for years and years after owning it. Like, I think that's key. That's a good point. Let's see. Experimentation leads to unexpected results. Yes, indeed. 1000% on that. I'm about to dismantle and rebuild my studio to reset my creativity. Sometimes it needs to be done, man. I think studios are always just a complete work in progress. They're never done. If you're creative and you find different things, even without new gear coming in, we just find new ways to configure and think about, like, streamlining. Yeah, never a bad idea. And a lot of times, sometimes it can be a pain in the ass and frustrating as fuck, rewiring everything, especially if you got, like me, like patch bays and mixers and stuff. It's a huge headache. But it's always usually like very beneficial when you get it done, and it's kind of therapeutic too. I find like it's like a form of therapy to just reconstruct, find different ley lines and ways of the world, energy coming together. It's the studio, it's never, I never feel like anybody's studio is probably done. Like, somebody builds a studio, they're like, this is it forever for the next 40 years, we're not changing anything. Like, I don't know. I think it's a healthy thing, but God, it can be frustrating and a pain in the ass to do. Glad I caught your stream. Time is everything. Hell yeah, man. I appreciate seeing you, dude. Known you for years, man. I hope you're doing good. You putting out some new music these days? I imagine you are. You guys are always putting out new albums and stuff. Shout out, go follow Corduroy Institute and check out his music, their music. Amazing, cool stuff. Good man. Good dudes. Let's see. Let's see. Flipping computer crashed. Oh shit. Sorry, probes. All right, guys. Well, it is almost 11 o'clock, and I have to be up at 3:30 in the fucking morning, 3:15 in the goddamn morning. So I did. I don't know if you saw Corduroy. This stream was about this huge. I'm gonna show it one more time because I'm so fucking excited, guys. 8 years I waited. 8 years, something like that. I'm pretty sure it's like 8 since first time I saw it. I finally found a deal, like hella screaming deal used on Perfect Circuit, and I'm just gonna show it because I'm so hyped. The Pulsar 23. Love it, you guys. I cannot tell you how heavy this fucker is. It's the heaviest piece of equipment I've ever owned. Always wanted to check out some Soma, so I'm super hyped. This is my big purchase of the year. Got it for over $1,000 off, I think, which is shout out Perfect Circuit, and it came in this beautiful case. So that was the unboxing today. I'm so hyped. You guys don't know how. I mean, I've watched so many videos. This is a piece of gear I've wanted to play with since the very first day I saw it. And this case, this awesome fucking case it came in, is like sturdy as shit, all padded. So very, very fucking hyped, you guys. Very, very hyped. Yeah, it's gonna be hella fun, man. I'll do some live streams on it this weekend. I'll break it out. But I was thinking, like, I'm probably gonna like, so Octatrack's going back up. Octatrack's going back up on the desk as the main one. I took the GR Mega down and some other stuff aside. I'm gonna have Octatrack with the we'll see. Definitely Octatrack, and then I'm gonna have other stuff. So and then just start sampling into that with the ASRX Pro. So those are gonna be. I'm changing up the setup in the front here for what I'm sampling into. The MPC X SE is gone to another table with the turntable for a separate thing in the studio, and so on the main desk is just gonna. I'm going back to Octatrack for sequencing and sampling and stuff with the Toneverk, with the Octatrack Toneverk. But yeah, having the Pulsar 23 and then the Voltage Lab 2 is going to be Voltage Lab 2 up front with the Pulsar 23, and then it's going to be about making fun stuff and jamming on that and getting crazy sounds, and then sampling that, and then chopping those samples to use for the tracks and stuff. So that's the goal over the next few weeks. We'll see. But I'm just going to like experiment like hard with just making some trippy and interesting things with this Pulsar 23. This is a real kind of grail machine for me. Like I said, I could have bought it. I could have saved up and bought it for years, but I wanted to. I'm playing this long game now, you know? Like, that's what I did with the Quantum. I waited 8-9 years since Quantum to get this MK1 to find a raging cheap deal. I'm not buying shit like full price anymore, or like the hot new thing. Everything is very thought out and methodical on what is going to be forever in my studio. You know, I don't buy anything to sell or to flip or just to play with. There's things I'd like to check out and stuff, you know, that comes out, but that shit doesn't really interest me that much. Like, it's the old stuff. It's the stuff that, there's new things that come out that I'm intrigued by for sure, but not much, to be honest. Most of it just doesn't really excite me or interest me. And I think a lot of that has to do with just the marketing of the synthfluencer dudes and people that show it. It's like, I don't know, like once upon a time I used to be excited by that and see it, but like I don't know, it's just all worn thin. Like now I see it as just like long infomercials for companies and stuff, and I just don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather just like find things that intrigue me in my ears, you know, for my palate of, like I said, like spices and seasonings and textures that bring something to my music. So there it is. Love you guys. Appreciate you hanging out. Fucking shout out, big shout out to fucking Corduroy being here. Probes, the man. Space Capsule, Synth Fun. I appreciate you guys fucking hanging out. Hold my beer, fam. What's up? Yeah, I appreciate you guys all being here, and for my big moment, this was a big one for me. I normally don't, you know, it's not like I'm gushing, but like this was like something that I waited and I waited and I waited, and then I was patient, and then I thought about pulling the trigger a few years ago, and I waited. And fucking, I bided my time, and this is the way with gear. It's like, because if 2-3 years go by, and you're still thinking about that piece of gear and listening to it, and like thinking that it can bring something to the table, some new sounds, a new texture, a new thing that is going to be beneficial to your creativity, to your workflow, or to your whatever it is, whatever it brings to the table in your studio. If years go by and you're still into it, you know that that's something that is probably worth checking out. You know, just because the new video of something comes out and you're like, oh, this looks interesting, whatever. But if 6-7 years go by and you're still watching videos on that and you're still thinking about it, then it's probably something that you should check out. You know, and just wait for a good deal. Don't rush into things. Don't get into fucking debt or pull out credit cards and stuff. Like, just wait. Buy the time. I kind of want a TR-1000 down the road. I can't lie. I mean, I think all of us would love to play with one. But I ain't rushing out to buy that price. But 5-10 years from now, I see a TR-1000 for $1,000, $1,200, I'll fucking might buy one. But I'm in no rush. I'm in no rush for any gear, and nobody should be, because the gear you have already and the equipment you have already, you probably haven't even tapped into 30-40% of its capability. If you read the manual and think about ways to use that with other shit and run that into other stuff and do interesting things, the gear you have right now is probably more than capable. All right, guys, be good to yourselves. Be good to other people. It's a really fucking crazy world right now. It looks like World War III started. I don't know. Saw some shit. People bombing and dying. Whatever. That's nothing new, I know, but it's a fucked up place out there. Just be good to other people, because, you know, nobody needs somebody to be a fucking asshole to them. And most importantly, be good to yourself, because we all go through the ringer and a bunch of bullshit. And remember, PMA, positive mental attitude, all day, fucking every day. And you'll get through this bullshit if you keep that PMA. All right, love you guys. Peace.